Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to Race with Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide. I'm joined in the commentary booth by Persephoroth. Sephi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Gar. How are you?
Amazing, as always. Tonight we have for you our Tournament of the Month semifinals. This is for Pod 3. We have three fantastic racers for you all to enjoy. Falcon Hit in blue in the top right, Boo in green, top left, and the Schwantz 27 in red, the bottom left. And of course, we cannot forget the best racer of all, Black Square, bottom right. Black Square, I think he's the favorite to win this, but that's just me speaking personally.
You know, as far as I'm concerned, he's already won. Completed this race so quickly that didn't even need to show up.
Within the blink of an eye, really, it's just incredible how quickly he can get things done.
Yes, it's the envy of everyone who tries to get chores done. Or, I'm not going to make that joke. Never mind.
Chores are enough.
Chores are enough. This is actually a pretty stacked race. Falcon Hit and Schwantz are pretty heavy hitters, as is Boo. So we shall see how this goes. I'm expecting it to be pretty exciting.
This will absolutely be a race to watch. So, one of the things that is different than our usual race seed is that these were adopted from a Battle Royale tournament that the community had a few months ago. So, this particular flag set is our Week 5, Week 6 flag set, with the most difficult flag set being the next one, or Week 7, Week 8 from the previous tier. So, what that means is that we have some additional level and HP scaling. We have 10 boss levels that we give them just because we don't like them. Just kidding. Maximum scaling set to 50 instead of 40. 2,500 gold instead of 5,000. Random tiered shops, so I'm not 100% sure what that means, but some shops will be better than others. No Super Balls. Super Balls being a very powerful item used for breaking open seeds.
Which means a lot of grinding in the early game.
It absolutely does. No free progression, so there are some characters that have free checks associated with them. We see Celeste in all of our members' parties.
Which is good, because the checks associated with her are there's quite a lot of them. Like Magitech will get you 3 different checks alone.
Yes, that's right. But the free checks will not offer progression. Progression in this game being defined by getting either characters or espers. You need 6 characters and 9 espers to challenge Final Kefka.
And no free progression means anything that isn't tied to a boss fight, correct?
That's right. With some exceptions. Locke's Phoenix Cave check, for example, is not a free check, despite you not needing to fight any kind of boss.
Yeah, I've been afraid to try this flag set. I have not strayed away from MFT and UL Seed, so this should be interesting to watch.
I did my own race yesterday, and I did not do too well, given given just how rough the flags can be.
We found a Thunder Shield over on Boo's screen. That's good. And it looks like, I think... Have they all checked Narsha yet?
I don't think Schwantz has. Schwantz took that early reset because he accidentally did one of Setzer's checks. It was free. It rewarded a Genji shield. But because it cannot reward progression, that basically just
Falcon
increases
can also
scaling
just reset too for the same thing.
Yep.
This is why we read the flags, people.
Absolutely.
Mega Elixirs available in that store, which are expensive but valuable knowledge for later game. Having a Thunder Shield early game is a big deal, though.
Can you explain why it is a big deal? I agree, by the way.
It absorbs elemental, so absorbs bolt magic and anything connected to that. And also, there's a second element. Is it wind?
It nullifies wind, that's right.
It nullifies wind, which is a big deal. It's also a good, like, oh no, I'm gonna fail button, because if you use it in combat as an item, you'll consume it, but it will cast a 3rd level spell. So it's a good, like, safety gauge. It would take a lot, I think, for any of these runners to like use it early game, but it's there if they need it.
Yeah, you only really want to use it if you're up against a boss with a bunch of HP. So anything that lives in the world of ruin, for the most part, if you run into that early, it may be worth breaking the shield. We'll see how each of our runners deal with that if that situation comes up.
Absolutely. It looks like Boo's raiding Albrook. I did not see what abilities each of the character has. Did you catch that?
I didn't either.
Hmm.
Hopefully they've got something good.
Yeah.
Throw would be a really nice ability.
I haven't noticed them buying any skins, so I doubt that throw is there. Although that would have been great. I'm assuming that Magitech is off for these flags.
Magitech is not available for this seed. That's right. But Shock, however, is. Magitech provides a whole lot of useful abilities that you can use. There's like 3 elemental beams. There's a healing spell. You've got an instant death spell. You have Tech Missile, which is maybe the best ability in the game.
And they are all chasing each other like tiny rats in a cage. What a wonderful time. Cute rats, let me be clear. But yeah, they're all in Figaro doing this. They're also avoiding Celeste's check because no free progression also mean not only will they not get an Esper, but it will increase the levels of the bosses they face, so that will be a problem.
Schwantz taking the save before checking it. If the item is good enough, say you get like an EXP egg or an Illumina, it may be worth keeping that check, but Schwantz sees a gem box, says nope, and opts to reset.
Gem box is an item in the new versions of this game. It is called the Soul of the Masa. It basically allows you to cast a spell twice in a round, which is powerful but has a high MP cost and isn't always ideal in a lot of situations unless you have an economizer. And realistically, you usually want to stack double earrings instead to get damage output per spell rather than using 2 spells in one round when you're speedrunning because of the time sink of casting a spell.
One thing to note too with the gem box is that there is an increased delay when using the gem box over just regular magic. You've got to queue up 2 spells at once, basically. And it also prevents you from casting summons. And Espers are going to be a big deal, especially at the end of this seed, as you'll see.
Yeah, they're very important for Final Kefka.
Right now.
Falcon Head heading over to Returners. And Schwantz is heading to World of Ruin South Figaro, which you can raid part of South Figaro in both worlds. The chests inside won't come back, but the ones on the outside do.
That's right. We see a Mega Elixir. So tremendous pickup there. And I believe all of our runners went to the South Figaro basement and found a Flame Shield. So we have a Thunder Shield and a Flame Shield.
Schwantz going back and forth on that Blizzard Aura, which is great defensive protection. And usually you want to prioritize attacking stuff in this, but Blizzard Orb is an item that usually in the vanilla game only the Yeti Umaro can equip. But because of the increased randomization of each character, other characters may be able to equip it as well. And it basically absorbs ice damage or is it fire? I can never remember.
It absorbs ice and nullifies fire.
Yeah, there we go.
So if we get an Esper that has the Merton spell attached to it, that may be something that Schwantz and our other runners might want to come back and look at.
Yeah, it's also combined with the Thunder Shield, good defense against Magimaster if it happens to show up.
We don't talk about Magimaster right now. We're not going to speak it into existence.
I'm speaking into existence. They're all going to find Magimaster in the first 20 minutes.
Sephi is out for blood.
I just want to see an exciting race. Can you blame me?
I can a little bit.
I'm here to be entertained. I'm not playing the seed, so I want to see some blood.
I have the exact same philosophy normally. But this time I'm feeling nice. I want them to go through the seed like butter.
You can be good cop, I'll be bad cop. Looks like Falcon Hit is opting to go into the Dome of Siege and is facing some normal enemies there, probably to get some XP. Let's hope that it isn't a dead check for them.
Yeah, so at the Dome of Siege...
we have a jumper. Then they have a dragon horn already?
Yep, they found a dragon horn in...
That's a good game,
South
early game
Figaro.
find.
So, Setzer with that natural jump there, able to take out those Pluto armors, no big deal at all.
Yeah, the dragon horn is a relic that allows your jump skill, which is normally only given by the dragoon boots, but in this can be found normally on characters. Allows them to hit multiple times from the air. It can be very powerful, especially combined with other weapons like fixed dice. Probably the fastest way to use fixed dice is with a dragon horn and jump.
Absolutely.
I forget, does a Valiant Knife damage stack with jump?
I don't believe it does. It's one of the few weapons that doesn't.
But yeah, find yourself a decent weapon and you're on your way. Especially those fixed dice, it can cause a lot of damage. And it's much faster than using the offering.
Falcon Hit up against the cranes.
Not a bad boss to find early on.
Not normally, but remember that they've got 10 levels on your party now, so...
Because of the gem box, right?
Because one of the things with the Battle Royale Week 5/6 flags is that they start with 10 additional... Watson start with 10 additional levels. Yep.
So, remind me, with no free progression, if they do... oh, wait, he reset after the gem box, never mind. So they're just starting at a base 10 levels higher?
That's right.
Schwann's opting to go to the Opera House.
Not a bad play. One of the requirements in order to get a free Illumina is to do the Opera House, and it's got a bunch of fixed encounters to let them get those early levels.
Yeah, I imagine that to get the Illumina, which is basically the strongest weapon in the game, although there's some argument for others depending on your usage of them, I expect we'll see a lot of them going for it.
We will see. Boo running up against the cranes that Falcon Hit just killed. Falcon Hit getting the Siren Esper. Very, very nice find early on.
Extremely nice find because it has mute, which is perfect. Its attack causes mute, which is perfect for Final Kefka.
There's one part of Final Kefka that is vulnerable to mute. Basically takes that part of the fight out entirely.
Arguably one of the most difficult parts of that fight.
I don't disagree.
Honest.
Falcon Hit now checking the Doomgaze spot, finding a floating Funbaba. All arms, no legs.
You do not want that flying at your face. Not even a little bit. He always skips leg day. Every time I see Fun Baby, it's always like all arms, all chest, no legs. It's always the upper bicep. Why not the forearms?
Because forearm exercises are rough. Nobody likes doing them.
Yeah, but they're necessary if you don't want to look...
If you don't want to look
like an onion balancing on stilts.
I do want to grow those horns, though. I'm not going to lie. That's kind of cool.
The horns are pretty cool.
I also think that Funbaba needs to see a dentist. He got some pretty severe underbite. There are a variety of dental appliances that will correct that.
Maybe some lotion for those scales, too, might help smooth those out.
Boo heading into Daryl's tomb.
Which is one of Setzer's checks. Probably one of the most popular checks to do, I would say. It's very quick with the Moogle Charm. And gives you access to a monster in a box, which depending on what kind of build you're going for or searching for can be helpful because you're looking for that Katana Soul to get an offering. Though usually not this early because Katana Soul is brutal.
He's a rough one. But speaking of Moogle Charm, you might be wondering why none of our characters are getting into any random encounters. It's because there are 3 Moogle Charms that are available at the start of the seed. Moogle Charm prevents all random encounters, and in Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, every character can equip the Moogle Charm.
Normally it's only Mog, who is a Moogle.
I don't believe you.
You know what? There's evidence that he's a Moogle. Just because you don't believe me doesn't mean that's not correct.
Well, the thing is that there's an item in this game called the Moogle suit, which turns your character's battle sprite into a Moogle. I think Mog is just wearing one of those.
You know,
You heard it here first.
I can't argue with that. There is that could be true. Mog could just be a person in a Moogle suit impersonating a Moogle. That would cause problems with my word view and would make me descend into madness.
Andrew Bracho in chat saying Mog is secretly Baram. That is the spiciest take.
Yes,
I love it.
Baram being Shadow's partner and a man of questionable ending where he ended up.
Boof finding the leader guarding Strago's tomb. So we're going to resurrect the old man. We are not done with him yet. We need him to save the world, perhaps.
We do.
A Falcon hit in the Dome of Dream finds the Atma weapon as the first boss there.
Mm-hmm. Not the worst, but not the best.
You definitely want to see this early. He's got a lot of abilities that can scale up to some really nasty things, up to and including Ultima.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then there's its Big Daddy toilet version, which is just Atma, which gets Ultima as well, but earlier. Thankfully, I've never gotten hit with Ultima by one of them. Now that I've said that out loud, it's going to be a problem.
You've just spoke it into existence.
Yep, that's going to happen the next seed that I run. It's what's going to happen.
And down goes Atma weapon for Falcon hit. Schwantz opting to go for the Magitech facility. Pentastodon in the chat pointing out that Strago has throw. So very phenomenal ability attached to a, I would argue, not so phenomenal character.
Yeah. Not the best.
He's got pretty decent magic power. Unfortunately, he is very slow.
Yeah, not the best find, but also not the worst.
I did not see on Falcon Hit's side who or what was jumping across the trains there.
Nor did I.
We will find that out in just a moment, I suppose.
Hope for their sake it's a character, because Strago comes along with some of the least liked checks in this entire game, being Ebbett's Rock, Burning House, and the Fanatic's Tower, which are all time-consuming.
Yeah, all
Burning
of them
House,
bad for different reasons.
Yeah, Burning House can be useful if you take it early on, because you can grind there, because there's actual enemies that wander on the overworld map, basically. And you have to avoid them, and it's difficult to, but if you need to grind, it's a good place to go.
Definitely not bad early, especially in a flag set like this one, where you are rewarded for grinding a few levels in the early game. But at this point, I would be surprised if any of our runners go there, unless they have no choice.
I think that that's very true.
So Boot now entering the dream, going to go and fight his Atma weapon.
Looks like Falcon Hit and Boo are right on the heels of each other.
Yep, Falcon
whereas Schwantz has opted for Magitech. Which honestly is probably what I would take, but I also am a Magitech apologist. I love doing Magitech. It's one of my favorite levels in the game. Let's see if Schwantz does the whole thing.
But in this case, it's a pretty good check. You've got 3 checks in total, 2 of which can be either an Esper or an item, and the last of which can either be a character or an Esper. So guarantee progression at the end of this, but it's worth noting that they don't have to go to the end. They can opt to warp out beforehand.
Yep, as long as you warp out before you talk to Sid or hit that switch in the Esper room, you can warp out.
Yep.
Which is right after the fight that would be number 24, right? Is that number 24?
That is number 24.
Yeah. Jumping across looks like a ghost, so it's not a character.
Yep, not a character, and a pretty free Doma Dream coming up on the piranhas here at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Piranha's a good one to see. The only thing that can be annoying about it is that it's not a set amount of time before the actual boss appears.
Yeah, so in the vanilla game, it is a set amount of time before Rizapos, the purple piranha, appears. And this one, it is somewhere between like 10 seconds and a minute. I'll have to go back and check that out.
I believe it's 10 seconds to 55 seconds.
Okay.
If it's unchanged from what's in the documents on the website.
And speaking of our website, if you like Final Fantasy VI and want to get involved in the Worlds Collide community, you can check out ff6wc.com. There you can roll seeds. You can check out the link to our Discord, which you should definitely join. We've got a lot of cool people here.
It's a great community.
And most notable to me is that there is a great wiki there. The wiki has all kinds of information that I didn't even know when I first started playing this game, or the randomizer, even though I've been playing vanilla for years, decades.
Same. Absolute same. A lot of the boss weaknesses I did not know, especially for the final Kefka boss. Not final Kefka himself, but for the Statue of the Gods that leads up to him. I knew none of their weaknesses. I didn't even know you could put status effects on them.
Oh, same. All I knew was cast Ultima.
Yeah, this is one of the few early, not early, but Final Fantasy definitely leaned into the status effects not working on bosses later in the series, and it's not that active in the early ones. Apparently there are still status effects that can go off on some bosses.
Absolutely. So, Doma Dream was 3 espers. Not bad.
Nope.
Schwantz finding the worst band in the universe, Hydon and the Hydonites, takes him out no problem. Boo coming up on his piranha is going to get his 2 espers. And Falcon Hit going to the tomb, going to find his Strago.
Yeah, what checks are available to them right now that they could take? They have Cyan, so they could round out his checks with the Mount Zozo.
They could go up
But
Mount
that
Zozo.
is a free... Is that one free progression, technically?
I don't believe it is.
And that also opens the opportunity for them to get a dragon in, if they so choose.
Absolutely. Dragons in this game are very cool. They give you a ton of EXP and magic points, the things that you need in order to unlock spells from espers. And then they drop 2 items. They're vanilla drop, and then they also give you an additional reward after that.
Yep. A high tier item of some kind. Schwantz going into the mine fights. There are 3 fixed encounters that you have to face here, followed by a boss. See how he does. I have died here many times in the past, and so has Gar. I've watched it.
Nuh-uh. I've never died here.
Oh yeah,
not a
you've
single
never
time.
died here multiple times. I've never observed that watching your streams. Not
You
even
sure
once.
haven't. Nope.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
I've watched you die so many times, over and over and over again, and each time fills my heart with joy.
I bet it does. But so far, it seems like the encounters here aren't too bad. Hopefully, we don't see something like a Magimaster at the end of this. That would be pretty miserable.
Really bad. I am very curious who it's going to be at the end of this.
My money is on Dataluma.
Ooh, Big Daddy Dataluma.
We know him, we love him. We can't get enough of him. I do.
We love a man whose chest is super disproportionate to his legs. But he does have those MC Hammer parachute pants. Those are very sweet.
And he's very, very good at martial arts.
Yeah, very good. Extremely good. Real good boss.
Boo opting to head up Mount Zozo.
It's Tritach, and they do have fire magic, I believe, so they should be okay here.
That's right. Celeste has fire too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Tritach does not take much damage from anything else. Except non-elemental. And non-elemental and fire are really the only ways to hit it.
Oh no! Boo! Short of money.
Ooh!
Gonna take a quick fight
Ouch.
here to raise the funds.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've done that myself far too many times.
I still find myself in the habit of not spending enough money, unfortunately. It's one of the things I have to work on in my seeds because I'm just like, no, if I'm out of money, I can't do anything. You know?
Yeah, like if you don't have money, how are you supposed to invest it and earn those compounding returns?
Yeah, exactly, which you totally get in this gamey speedrun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, looks like an Esper Magitech. They are running low on checks that they want to take. Narapa, not the worst fight. Far from it, actually.
Yeah, Narapa
But
not
it does
bad
have
at
innate
all.
reflect, and if you forget that, it's a problem.
Which is funny because she is vulnerable to instant death, but basically the only way to get that is to either summon Odin, Raiden, or cast the X-Zone spell.
Mm-hmm.
Boo and Falcon hit both in Mount Zozo.
Yep.
I would be surprised if neither of them take a dragon.
Yeah, one of them probably will. Let's hope for them that there's a character here, because otherwise they're doing Stracotex, most likely.
You love to see Strago checks.
I do, and I do want to see them here. Imagine if they get to the end of the Burning House and there's a Magic Master there. The frustration.
I'm all about it.
Makes me live.
Makes me feel alive.
Right. Let's see if Boo takes this dragon.
Boo opting to put a pair of fixed ice on Setzer.
Mm-hmm.
Boo
That's
famously does
definitely
not like the fixed ice.
It's a good move though, because Setzer's a jumper. So even if you don't like fixed dice, it's still going to do a lot more damage, you know?
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
without the time sink of the fixed dice, because the animation is very long.
Coming up on the Skull Dragon here,
They're both taking the dragon.
one of the easier dragons in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Deceptively not undead. Not that undead is active on bosses in this, but Skull Dragon, not undead.
Yeah, you see the power of jump with fixed ice there.
Yeah.
2.7 and
Which is a lot of damage at
3.
this stage.
and Falcon Hit does not have the fixed ice, or if he does, he doesn't have it equipped on Setzer.
Mm-hmm. Schwann's opting to go directly to Nakia, which is kind of a rare thing to do, unless you've done Gauss check. He must be looking for something in particular.
Well,
What would you be looking for that you would go all the way to Nakia for it?
Ooh,
I can only think of like earrings.
Earrings would be a good one. Maybe like an Atlas armlet. But
There's a
honestly,
glove available.
like warp stones, sleeping bags, tents. There aren't super balls, so he can't find anything like that. No super balls, no rods.
Mm-hmm. Rods are great for early game damage. Well, rods are great in general, actually, because you can break them to cast second level spells. But not in this one.
And they
Alright, let's
cast
see
them
what's
at max
behind
power
this
as well.
Iron check. It's an Esper, which means that they're probably doing a Strago check.
Almost certainly. And of the three, I can't imagine that they would do anything other than Ebbett's Rock first.
Mm-hmm. Ebbett's Rock is faster if it's kind to you. It's based purely on RNG. Like every connecting teleport pad connects to a different random one. It can be quite annoying. I really dislike it personally.
There's a ton of variants. You can either get really lucky and you're in and out of there in a couple of minutes, or you spend 5 minutes in the same exact room because the teleporter keeps putting you back there.
Falcon Head heading over to the Magitech facility, which we know will award them Espers.
Yep, that's if I'm not mistaken, that's 3 Espers out of there. So this
Yeah.
will put Falcon Hit at 9 espers.
Which is a big deal. But still searching for those characters. Schwantz going to the Dream, which we also know as espers. Boo also opting for the Magic Tech facility.
And it makes sense to me. Again, it's got 3 checks, the end of which could be a character. They are going to be disappointed, but they don't know that yet.
Extremely disappointed. But you know, their loss is our gain in entertainment.
Notable, too, that I haven't seen any 3rd level magic spells, so no like Fire 3, Ice 3, or Bolt 3.
I saw Cure 3, I believe, but nothing damage worthy.
Okay.
I forget where I saw that, so don't quote me on it, but I believe that one of the espers someone has a 3rd level Cure spell.
You heard it here first. Sephi thinks that one of these espers has Cure 3.
And if I'm wrong, Gar's gonna make fun of me, because he's a monster.
I'll make fun of you anyway.
That's fair. But usually you have no material to work with, so...
That's true.
Schwantz facing down an Atma
you
weapon.
don't make it easy.
Getting a Pearl proc. That's because I am perfect.
Huh.
And beyond reproach. And stunning.
Okay, well that one's true.
Thank you.
So, given that they don't really have a whole lot of offensive power as far as magic goes, I would be surprised if any of them did Fanatic's Tower, again, unless they absolutely had to.
I can see them peeping it, and if it is a character, I think they might go for it.
Could be.
But they don't have the magical offense. And if you think fighting Magic Master is bad at the top of the tower, try getting Doom. That happened to me once, and it was abject pain. It was just complete pain.
Yeah, Doom is rough because after you run him out of 50% of his HP, he puts Reflect on himself.
Which you can only use magic in the Fanatic's Tower, so
Yep.
really difficult. You can't even use abilities that are based on magic. They all go away.
It's a bad time.
It really is.
And that's why I don't want to see it because again, I'm being nice cop here.
Yeah, I think that even that would be a little too mean for me. I'm hoping that there's an easy boss at Fanatics if there is indeed a character. Just because I know that pain. It's too much for even me to take pleasure in. Even I have my limits as a monster.
At this point, I think that all of our characters are going to be... Oh, hey, there's that Cure 3. Absolutely.
Look, I was right. Wonderful.
Dagnabbit.
See,
So
I am perfect.
I think after this, it would be smart of them to go and peek Fanatic's Tower.
Mhm.
And if they don't see a character, just immediately jump into Ebbett's Rock.
Yeah, and if they go to Ebbett's Rock, it'll put them in Thamasa at the end, which will give them the chance to look for earrings there, because I don't think anyone's picked up them yet. There's been at least one hero ring that I've seen on screen, but hero rings doing the same thing as the earrings, except with both fight damage and magic damage.
Yep. Hero ring is just Atlas armlet and earring stapled together.
Mhm.
You'll love to see those.
Unfortunately, hero ring and Atlas armlet physical damage does not stack. Earring and magical damage does, so you can get up to a 50% bonus, which means that earrings are one of the most powerful relics in the game.
And that's why magic tends to reign supreme. There are some exceptions, but in this seed, it doesn't look like we're going to see too many of them, other than jumping with fixed ice and that dragon horn.
Oh, I didn't realize Strago has throw. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's actually a huge benefit. Throw is one of the most powerful abilities in the game, which I did not know as a kid, and I refused to use Shadow, and I was just like, magic all the time. Ooh, big mistake.
You don't want to use Shadow because he's a bad dad.
He is a bad dad. I'm not a fan of bad dads.
Okay, we do have a little bit more offense. I see Pearl on one of those espers. I'm pretty sure I saw Flare on one of the others.
Yeah,
Not
unfortunately, they're
ideal.
both slow spells to cast. They are
Yeah, they just
powerful,
aren't-
but they're slow and single target.
Yep.
However, with Strago, they have the ability to elemental multi-target with Skeins. So I can't imagine that Boo and Falcon Hit haven't picked some up at this point. Schwanz still has not found that character yet, but we see how it goes.
I would be surprised if Schwanz's next check isn't Daryl's tomb,
As would
because
I.
or actually, I could see him also doing the Search the Skies.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, he's going to wind up in Daryl's tomb.
Mm.
He's going to get his Strago, and he's going to be a little bit sad about it.
Yeah, but at least Strago has throw, and Strago has pretty high magic power, so Skeins with him will be good. But he is slow and not very physically powerful or sturdy, so to speak.
Going down the Mode 7 minecart.
Mm-hmm. Gonna be an Esper at the end of that. And what was the boss there again?
Tritalk at the end of the carts,
Right.
and then
I can't
leader.
imagine that'd be too much trouble.
No, not leader. Who was on the airship?
Narapa.
Narapa, that's the one.
Narapa. Yeah, I can't imagine that would be too much trouble. Swan's heading to the world of balance and going to Doma Siege.
Okay, he hasn't done Doma Siege yet. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I also noticed that even though at least 2 players have done the Opera House, no one opted to do the check for the Illumina, which is performing in the Opera, I believe.
I think it's just doing the Opera House check there, not actually.
Do they already
performing.
have one?
Do they? I didn't see one.
I didn't see one given either. So
it's possible that they have one. I
can't imagine they wouldn't have equipped it, considering Celeste can equip it in the base game, which means she can equip it here. But I could be wrong. Maybe there wasn't an Illumina given away for that. Thought I saw that, though. Oh, Zelfer correcting us. Opera is 1 check needed of 3 done total for the Illumina, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that's correct. I believe to get an Illumina, there are 5 total checks you can do, of which you only need to complete 3.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got Siren, which is important for the end game, but Swan's still at 3 characters, even with 6 Espers. That's not the best time.
Yeah, you've got to be feeling a little bit nervous if you're Schwantz at this point.
Mm-hmm. See where they go next.
Making the stop in World of Balance, Nikea.
Yeah.
Basically
what's
just betting that
here.
they're not going to see Gao.
Warp Stones, though. And Skeins, unfortunately, they don't
and
have
Fire Skeins,
Strago.
which he doesn't know he needs
Yeah,
yet.
he doesn't know. That's hard to take. But earrings.
There you go.
Schwanz has opted not to buy.
And Boo out of the minecarts, gonna go find his Narapa.
Mm-hmm. Did Schwanz find earrings elsewhere? That's the only reason I can think of that he wouldn't buy them.
I'm not sure what his relic situation looks like right now, other than he is using the Dragon Horn and a pair of Dragoon boots.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him jumping with Cyan earlier.
Cat Hood, pretty good armor, but expensive. More edges and skeins. Okay, Boo taking on Narapa. And she did. She gone.
Schwann's doing a bit of shopping, and I'm not 100% sure what he's looking for here.
Neither am I. I'm very curious, though.
Who going to peek Fnatic's tower?
Bought some shurikens just in case. I will be curious to ask Schwantz in the interview afterwards what he was looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both Falcon Hit and Boo are pretty close to each other. There is no character at Fnatic's tower, which means it's very unlikely that they will take that check. Which likely means that they're heading to Ebbets Rock for Boo.
And if it's not here, there's only two other places it could be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's either in the Burning House or at the Kefka at Narschek. And neither of those are great options.
Not even a little bit. Both are time consuming. However, at this point, they would know that if they have to take it, then the others are likely going to have to take it too, because they've done almost every other check available to them.
Absolutely. Gimmick here with Ebbets Rock is that you need 22 pieces of coral. You have to feed it to the hungry chest, at which point he hops out of the way and lets you go and fight the boss at the hide-on spot.
Yep, gotta hate mimics. Gotta hate them.
I don't have to. I love them, even when they kill me.
Even when they kill you, with their chompy chest teeth.
Because for a moment I had hope that there was actually treasure in the treasure chest. And there was. It was a mimic. And the mimic is the best treasure.
Maybe the treasure you found was the death you found from the mimic along the way. Okay, Schwann's opting for the dragon just like the others. We know this is a skull dragon. So...
Yep, going to find his 7th Esper there.
Boo indeed going to Ebbets Rock. Which I despise Ebbets Rock so much. I would rather do Kefka at Narsh. Or Narsha. I always say Narsha, but everyone in the community says Narsh.
I think it's Narsh. I don't think there's any, like, agreed upon pronunciation.
I don't believe there is either. I just like saying Narsha, like Marsha. Narsha.
Number Magic
24.
Master Jr.
Yup. Who can get scary at higher levels, but I think it's going to be fine here.
Yeah, worst thing that he can do is use his overflow ability, which sets Confuse on a character. But
yeah, he's
otherwise,
mostly a pushover.
Yeah. Not a whole lot that he can really do here.
Mm-hmm. Schwann's getting the Esper from Mount Zozo.
Mini Master. Thank you, Fantastodon. Great name.
Mini
I love
Master.
it.
That's great. Better than what I call him in my head, which is Diet Master.
Boo taking out the Mini Master. Hopefully it is a character.
Let's see.
Otherwise, we're going to have to make a bad choice here.
Nope, it's an Esper. Which means either Burning House or Kefka. That is entirely frustrating, and I would be mad at this point. Be incredibly mad, personally. However, both Boo and Falcon Hit at 9 Espers.
Falcon Hit will get his 10th here, which opens up the possibility of the KT skip for him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Opting for checking Kefka. For Boo.
And Schwann's finally diving into Daryl's tomb, going to find his Strago.
Mm-hmm. I'm very curious. If there's not a character at Kefka, I'm officially on team I feel bad. No longer wishing for blood.
That's disappointing. You should always be out for blood.
Okay, I'm
You're
back
the
to my
bad
bloody
cop.
ways. I
Nice.
hope that there's no character and they have to go to Burning House and they have to face a goddess there.
Perfect. I love it.
All right. Come on, let's see what's there. I also hope it's a character with decent checks. And it's Locke. So
Okay.
there is indeed a character at Kefka at Narsh. So let's see what the boss fight is and if Boo successfully does the enemy skip here. Schwann's finding Strago.
Yeah, so bad thing about Kefka and Narsh with 4 party members is that you're forced to take on the boss with 3.
Mm-hmm.
Not the worst possible scenario. But if this is something like Magimaster or the Stooges or Doom
It can be a problem. None of which we have seen yet.
We have not.
No, we haven't seen any of the statues for Magimaster yet.
And it's late enough in the seed to where the scaling is going to be pretty rough on them.
Mm-hmm. Getting the skip. Charnook. The worst.
Certainly doable.
Yeah. Also, my favorite boss design in this game. For how annoying it is, I just like it.
So the gimmick here is that Chatternook has 2 forms, which you're seeing right now. You've got the goddess form, which can be damaged, but the damage on it doesn't really matter. And then you've got this demon form here, which is the form you have to kill. And
You cannot, in fact, kill the goddess form, unfortunately.
Correct.
Yeah.
In the vanilla game, he switches back and forth, and he's in the goddess form for way too long.
Mm-hmm.
In this flag set, we have a quick transition for him, where basically he'll swap to goddess. Goddess will do a thing, and then he'll switch immediately back to the demon.
Mm-hmm. The reason I love this boss so much is because I do feel it was designed for me, because I am a beautiful woman, but I'm a demon.
Falcon Hit opting to do Burning House instead. This could also be a character.
It could be, and I really hope for his sake that it is.
But this is a very long check. And Boo is going to pick up Locke. Locke has 1 character check, which is very quick, and 1 which is a little bit longer, but still not as long as Burning House. So I think that he's got the advantage here.
Yeah, I also don't think... I'm curious. I don't think they'll necessarily go for the unlocking in the shops in Will the Ruin Narsh either, because it's late in the game. I doubt they're going to be unlocking that Paladin shield, and there's no free progression on, so it would just be a high tier item from the other check. So unless they're hurting for offense or defense, I can't imagine that they'd go for it.
Yeah, I think in this situation, I would take a peek at it. It does increase the scaling, but if one of the options is an Illumina, for example, you probably snatch it up anyway.
Yeah, it'd be worthwhile in that case.
So Boo probably going to zip on over to...
Tunnel Armor?
Oh, nope. Looks like he is going to check Roll of Ruin Narsh first, and then do Tunnel Armor.
Okay, so that's a thing that's going to be peaked. I guess I was wrong.
Every demon is wrong sometimes.
You know, on the rare occasion. I'm not going to make a habit of though. Don't get used to it.
We'll see about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see what it is. Atma Weapon. That's actually pretty good. Actually very good.
Pick it up.
Yeah, especially if they have an Esper that increases HP gains.
Yeah, Atma Weapon.
Go ahead.
Atma Weapon deals damage based on like the more health you have closer to your maximum, the more damage it's going to do. So as you lose health, Atma weapon gets a little bit weaker.
Ooh, 9 on the curse shield.
Yeah, can't imagine that. Even if he had found it earlier, that he would be decursing it.
The only way I could think of it is if they did Burning House and they were like, well, maybe. Or if they still had Magitech to do, but I think everyone here has done it. And even then, it wouldn't necessarily give them enough fights. Okay, Boo heading to the tunnel armor check. Just one of Locke's checks.
Yeah, almost certainly hoping for a character here. If he finds an Esper, that also makes the it makes the skip a little bit more attractive to him as well.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm very curious to see what this check's going to lead to. Dullahan. Surprisingly, not undead. Not that it matters here, but surprisingly, not undead. Even though it's a skelly man on a chariot with a dead horse.
And there are regular enemies in this game that have the same sprite, which are undead.
Mm-hmm. You can find them in Kefka's tower, I believe.
I believe you're right.
See, that wasn't so hard to say, was it?
I've said it a few times.
I know, but I love hearing it, and you should say it more.
Nope, that was it. Not anymore.
Rude.
Yeah.
Rude.
So, Dullahan, with his crippling weakness to fire, goes down without too much of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a realm.
Realm, a murder child. I'm very curious what her ability is. Lore, that's actually pretty good, especially if she has Grand Train.
Yeah,
Quasar.
so phenomenal find by Boo, and he is now officially in go mode.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he can go to Kefka's tower. Do you think he'll proceed immediately?
I don't know. His levels look fine, but he may not feel entirely too safe with the flags.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible that he goes to the World of Ruin auction house, or excuse me, not auction house, the opera house, and takes the dragon fight there.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Although, if he does go to Kefka's tower, sub 1 hour entrance to Kefka's tower is really good in like an MFT or a ULC, never mind a Battle Royale based one.
Oh, interesting. Doing some kind of grind here.
Hmm.
Oh no, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Schwantz's side.
Yeah.
Woof. Not doing a grind. Going to pick up his lock.
Mm-hmm.
And then very shortly afterwards, probably going to pick up his realm as well, and that will put him. Not quite in go mode. He only has 8 of the 9 required espers.
Yep. I'm very curious what is behind Burning House.
If it's another Esper, Falcon Hit has to go for the skip. There's basically no
pretty easy
no
fight
ifs, ands,
here.
or buts about it.
Ultros. Okay, yep, going for the Opera House for Boo. Try and get a little bit more leveling in offense. Have they obtained 3rd level damaging spells yet?
I don't think so.
Disappointing.
Yeah, and Fantastodon in the chat pointing out that those fixed dice have been putting in a ton of work on Boo's side.
Yeah, they really have.
And I do not remember
where they were found.
Where they were found. And thank you, SpeedGaming, for the raid of your own channel.
Thank you so much. I missed what was at the end of Burning House.
Dead Burning House. That
Ooh.
Absolute worst case scenario for Falcon Hit there.
That is terrible. feel like that should be illegal. You have to go through the horror of burning house. Oh, and it looks like Realm does have Grand Train.
A Realm right out of the box with a whole bunch of offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll come in handy, especially since they don't have 3rd tier level spells. But yeah, Fixed Dice, Natural Jump, Dragonhorn Setzer is going to put in a lot of work.
Yes, indeed. So while we got some runners retracing our steps, I'd like to shout out the Restream team, which I believe is just Lumaga, handling our tracking. Restream, of course, being provided by SpeedGaming, if I'm not mistaken, and the Schwantz27 setting that up before he started racing. So, very cool.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a ton of hard work, and thank you so much to Persephoroth, my co-commentator. She's amazing as always. And shout out to all of our runners, Falcon Hit, Boo, and the Schwantz27. You should give all of them a follow. They deserve it.
You should also give I Am Gar a follow, since he just did that lovely, lovely shout out for all of us. Go follow his stream. It's fun, and is one of the things that got me playing this game.
Heck yeah. Boo loading up the third party there. Gonna take out a boss and perhaps a dragon.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that he'll warp out after?
He almost certainly has to.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised if he were able to take on any of the bosses in here with one character, unless they were really, really easy.
Yeah, but we've seen a lot of the easier bosses. I'd be very surprised if they don't encounter at least one statue or Magic Master before the end of this seed.
On the flip side, we still haven't seen Daddy Luma.
No, we haven't seen Daddy Luma. And I miss his big, bulging, steroided biceps so much.
I like his pose.
It is quite fun. Dynamic, as they call it in the art world. The art world. Can you tell I'm from Boston? Jeez.
Not at all.
Well, I am.
So, Boo moving his party members as though he's going to make an attempt to go up with just one each.
Mm-hmm.
Be one heck of a time save if he can manage it, although these are his weaker characters.
Yeah. We shall see. I'm curious as to how this is going to go. But still managing to enter Kefka's tower sub 1 hour.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's really good.
And worth noting that Boo picked up the Apple weapon, and Locke can equip it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Boo also got a Valiant Knife. And got another Valiant Knife.
Does he have the Genji glove?
I believe I saw it for sale in Nikia, but I don't think anyone bought it. I don't believe an offerings come up either.
We'll get a peek at what the boss is here at the Inferno spot.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What's it giving? Morrow. Not bad at all. Really not bad.
We have
Thus far, they've all been pretty lucky.
They have been. There are 4 more characters, or 4 more bosses to attempt before the tiers.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if there was like a seed where they replaced Final Kefka with a souped up Magimaster instead?
Oh, I'm all for it. It's only a matter of time.
I love it though.
Ooh, big jumps from Setzer there, taking out the Yeti.
Yep. Bye, Yeti, bye. We hardly knew ye. That Yeti's now a fur coat. Continuing upward.
Looks like both Falcon hit. Oh, nope. Looks like Schwantz took a reset there.
Mm-hmm.
But Falcon hit, wrapping up.
Kefka.
Yep. And
Heading
going
over
go
to
find
Tunnel
his
Armor,
realm.
which is where Realm is. So it'll be go mode for Falcon Head at this point, unless they choose to go for the skip. Which, with 10 Espers, I could sort of see it going either way.
It's kind of a coin flip.
Mm-hmm.
I think in this situation, knowing that this is going to be a character, I think once you get this character, you don't actually try for the skip, and you just head for the tower.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards thinking that way myself.
But especially after that dead check at Burning House, you've got to be feeling behind.
Yeah,
So I'd be surprised if he actually winds up taking a dragon and just
booking
go
it
ahead
to the tower.
just go and jump straight into the tower.
Shortly we'll find out what's behind the statues in the Guardian fight. I always forget the Guardian fight is a thing. Whenever I get to the tower. Alright. Let's see what's behind Guardian number 1.
It's an Ultros.
Ultros.
Ultros
Okay.
number 3.
Which is not the bad one.
It is not the bad one. Getting
Getting
the
Ultros
last
number
one.
4 is like the biggest disappointment. Although I think it might be pretty welcome at this point where you're like pretty set on offense. Especially considering Boo has sent out 2 teams of 1.
So Hefe in chat pointing out that the play might be to go completely up the middle, then warp out, and split them up 2 and 2 on the wings.
That sounds probably right. Beware's tri-elemental attack! Dead. Beware!
It's a little funnier now that he doesn't actually do a tri-elemental attack most of the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll see if Boo picks up the meme chest. He does.
Yep.
And it's a squirrel costume.
It's a fursuit. And look, it's Big Daddy himself, Dadaluma, here to spread his heart of joy.
Look at those pecs. Look at those biceps.
Look at them pants.
Look at those pants.
It's Daddy out here. Daddy Lumi.
Dad bod Aluma? Oh no, that's no dad bod I've ever seen.
Defeated biceps are jumping on him. Bye, Daddy. Right? That's a Doom statue taken out. Thus far, bosses none of the ones that you're terrified of, which means that those final 2 bosses, let's see what they are.
They might be rough.
I'm just gonna guess that they might be.
The Falcon hit taking a detour into World of Ruin to Zen.
Mm-hmm.
Finding those Dragoon boots.
Looks like he's going for a second jumper. Changing Cyan into a jumper. Because he can equip a lance, which increases damage by 1.5, I believe, for jump, right?
By 2. With
By
a spear
2?
equipped. Yep. 1.5 for everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Boo not warping out.
Ultras 4.
Okay, Cyan can equip the VK, so
Yep.
I
So
guess he
there's
feels
that.
very, very confident, and this will probably work out for Cyan.
Most likely. And also, it will make the fight faster because only one character needs to be sneezed out upon Chupon's arrival.
We do
Still,
have
it
to
might
be a
take a
little
little...
bit careful though, because Chupon can do. Actually, both Chupon and Ultras can do some nasty things here.
Yeah, they can. And Chupon has a little bit of HP, so getting through it with one character might be a little bit rough.
Ooh.
And there's the Annihilation. Those tentacles, man, they'll get you every time.
Any physical ability with the multiplier on it, like Tentacle there, with the scaling applied, is just so incredibly damaging.
You heard it here, folks. Beware flying tentacles.
I do believe that can be solved by just putting Cyan in the back row. That should it'll have that damage, and he'll still get a bunch of damage from Valiant Knife swings. So
Yeah. Looks like Boo's gonna try again.
absolutely, we have not seen the Lock side, but again, Lock can equip both the Valiant Knife and the Atma weapon, so
Yeah.
should be able to muscle his way through it.
We shall see. And Lock, having been obtained later in the siege, should be pretty okay as far as like overall strength goes, but not getting those Esper bonuses. Schwann's taking on Dullahan. And Falcon Hit taking on Umaro. Miss from the darkness effect. That's on Cyan.
The evade bug is actually fixed for this flag set, which means, unlike in the vanilla game where evade did literally nothing, evade actually works now.
Yep. There's also several other things that are fixed. Worlds
Once
Collide
taken
as
out
well.
the Dullahan.
Mm-hmm. Dullahan looking extra dull today. Getting Realm, the Murder Child, with lore, which is always good. Okay. Still a pretty hard hit from that tentacle on Cyan. Hopefully this next hit with the VK will take out Chupon and sneeze. Yeah, there we go.
And it does.
Yep. That increased damage from the loss of HP really sold that.
Nice play by Boo there.
Mm-hmm. Falcon hit on Boo's heels.
Falcon hit going to be able to get through the wings a little bit quicker.
Mm-hmm. Just because of that one character hit without warping out.
Yep.
Smart. Very difficult play to pull off. And here we go. Let's see what the lock side is. Running out of the list of bosses it could potentially be.
There are still some nice ones in there.
There are still some nice ones. Let's see what's behind Goddess. Rexol.
Could be no problem. It can be a little bit scary, but Lock is pretty quick, and with that Valiant Knife, combined with Rexol's fairly low HP, should be able to get it through.
Should be pretty easy. Yeah. I don't foresee this being a problem. They were very lucky they didn't encounter any of the statues in any of the checks that they did.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But-
unless something goes really wrong with Kefka, I think Boo has got this. Those fixed dice putting in a lot of work, plus the 2 Valiant Knives. Even though they can only use 1.
The tiers are not to be underestimated. Falcon hit right on his heels, and if Boo has an unfortunate incident with any of the tiers or Final Kefka himself,
That's fair.
it's
Do we have
immediately
calmness
Falcon Hit's
protection?
game. Let's see. I did see Golem on Falcon Hit's screen.
Okay, so there's that.
Or excuse me, I saw Golem on Boo's screen. I think that Falcon Hit also has it.
Yeah, I see it on Schwanz's.
And Life 3, so Calm's
there's some
Protection is
options.
online.
They also have Siren to mute magic. So there are 2 of the biggest problems of the Statue of the Gods, or Tower of the Gods, whatever you want to call it.
So should be a relatively smooth tier, but again, anything can happen. Tier 3 in particular can be very, very nasty.
Very. I've definitely wiped to both Tier 2 and Tier 3. Way more than once. Way more than 10 times.
Schwann's opting to do a little bit more shopping before starting his ascent.
Mm-hmm. Schwann's entering the tower at 110. Going for the same tactic, just with different characters as Boo. Interesting.
Boo on the switch is at about 120. At 110, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Can't read digits.
Sorry, I thought you were predicting the end of the fight.
He does have a fair bit of offense with the jumping setzer with the fixed ice, the Grand Train lore.
Yeah, and the boss, some of the bosses in the tower also have elemental weaknesses, and even if they don't have 3rd tier level spells, they can still do some damage with those.
Steffi, do you want to talk a little bit about Tier 1 here?
Okay, so Tier 1, I forget what this muscular dude is known as. Not Inferno, what is he called? I don't know, he's technically the easiest. The head is weak to fire, the long arm is vulnerable to instant death, and the short arm is basically the one you want to kill last. If you don't kill the head before you kill that arm, it will use Quake, which can be really nasty for the entire party, and there's not as much earth damage protection is common in the game as the elemental shields and stuff. So Realm would survive because she has a cherub down, but otherwise.
Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, that was fine.
Do you remember what this guy's called?
I didn't know that this guy had a name for all the parts individually.
No, I think it's just the overall dude.
But yeah, like Steffi said, it's comprised of 3 parts. Head, that long arm, which is the one that's closest to you, the one that you can see as the viewer. And then the short arm, which is curl up into a fist and ready to uppercut somebody.
Mm-hmm. He's just a big... Oh, wait, I think it's called Machine. Don't quote me on that, though, but I believe it's called Machine. I think I just remembered.
I think that one is it's part of tier 2.
Hold on, I'm looking this up.
Schwann's opting to fight one of the dragons, going for the finds the dirt dragon, excuse me.
Visage is the name of the head, long arm, short arm. I don't know if there's an overall name for the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there is. This whole thing collectively, it's tier 1.
Tier 1.
Tier 1 out
As
of
in
3
you will
tiers
cry
total.
less tears than tier 2.
Tier 1 basically is just a bunch of very hard-hitting physical attacks and very little else. The head can do a petrifying move, and it can also do a move called Reverse Polarity, which brings all of your back row characters to the front row and vice versa.
Which is really annoying.
Very annoying.
Falcon hit facing off against Rexol. Schwantz going back into the tower.
And Boo wrapping up tier 1.
Now on to tier 2. Which has, respectfully, the Tiger Head, Hit, Tools, Magic, and the other guy I can't remember the name of.
Nope. That was it. You got them all.
Oh, cool. I believe Hit is also known as Power.
I think so. Hit being the big blue man there, sitting atop the tiger head.
Hit / Power is vulnerable to Berserk. I think.
Vulnerable to Stomp.
Stop. Which one's Berserk?
Is there one that's affected by Berserk?
I could get getting this wrong. The Tiger Head, though, I know is weak to ice.
It is weak to ice?
Magic is vulnerable to Mute, which you want to hit with if you can, because those spells are nasty. And Tools is vulnerable to instant death.
Notably, I didn't see anybody with instant death.
It is vulnerable to Berserk, according to chat. Yeah.
But
I think Stop is the way you want to go.
There's little reason to cast Berserk on him, since he does
only physical damage.
Yeah, he likes to hit things. That's why he's called Hit. Magic is the gentleman in the back there, behind everybody else, with the blonde ponytail. And then Tools or Machine is the lady in red, with the what appears to be machinery right next to her.
You know, Machine really looks like Junctioned Renoa from Final Fantasy VIII, and I just realized that.
You are absolutely right about that.
Yeah. I wonder if that was some type of influence. I was also wondering if the first creature had any input on Adel from Final Fantasy VIII, because the chess piece is very similar.
I would be surprised if there wasn't at least a little bit of influence there.
Mm-hmm. Same.
So Setzer just jumping up with those fixed dice, and that Dragon Horn going to do pretty reliable damage there.
Mm-hmm.
No instant death, so they are going to have to kill Tools at some point, although they really want to kill the Tiger Head first. It has a lot of nasty abilities that it can do, like that Absolute Zero there.
And turning you into a zombie, which is never helpful.
Turns you into a zombie. It casts moves like Flare Star, Northern Cross, which can freeze all your party members.
Overall, Tiger Head, just bad guy, kill him first.
Kill him first.
Although, Magic does have the ability to cast Life 3, which is annoying. But when they are muted, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, mute here
Ooh, quad
basically takes
nines.
magic out of the equation.
Yeah. Sets are putting in some work. Falcon Hit arriving at the lovely meaty boy.
I did not see what
Meaty
time
boy.
he wound up stepping on the switches.
Me neither. I was too engrossed with what was happening with Boo. I apologize. Okay, Swans is hitting the switches to get to the statues.
Okay, and tier 1 is down for Falcon Hit.
Yep. Not too far behind Boo. Looks like power / hit is dying. That's its death counter 10 hits, which is just time consuming.
And be a little dangerous if he decides to hit the same person a whole bunch of times in a row.
Mm-hmm. But finishing off tier 2, Boo's heading off to see... Is it Sleep or Dream and Lady, right?
Lady and Rest.
Rest.
Or Girl and Sleep. Or some combination of the two.
Put some respect on Lady's name.
Oh, no thank you. Not this one.
Put some respect on that lady's name. She's a lady, she don't need no tramp.
So this is... this is one of the deadlier fights in all of the tiers. Lady doesn't do a whole lot, mostly just casting that Pearl Wind, which heals for the caster's current HP. So you want to kill her first. Unfortunately, she absorbs every single element, so you're going to need to throw stuff at her, swing at my weapons, jump on her, or cast spells like
Non-elemental
Grand Train.
spells too. Flare, Grand Train, all those will do damage. Quasar.
Quasar has the best spell graphic in the game. You cannot convince me otherwise.
I'm not going to argue with you for once. It is awesome.
Big
Very
jump
curious
there.
what it looks like in the the Pixel remaster.
Oh, that's true. I actually own the Pixel remaster for 6, and I haven't played it yet.
I have not played it yet either. I plan to run it at some point and voice act it, but we'll see when that happens.
So, Rest here has moves like Whirlwind, which does some fractional damage to all your party members. Merton,
Like 15/16, right, of your health?
that is correct. Can cast Merton, which is like a big fire elemental, or fire/wind elemental spell. Hits everybody for big damage. Does some melee attacks. And once you get him below 10,000 HP, he starts casting this Meteo spell, which, as you can see,
rude.
It does a whole bunch of damage.
Mm-hmm. It's basically a group flare. It's not actually a fire elemental spell, unfortunately. And then there's Train, which unlike Grand Train doesn't do any damage, but it does inflict a ton of status effects on you.
Yep, sets the blind and mute status.
And here's the final death counter of Calmness, which
Calmness
misses.
is a physical attack which will instantly kill a character if it connects.
Mhm.
But espers like Golem will block it, which is why that one is really nice to have. Fenrir as well, which sets the image status on your party, will also negate it, as will the vanish status, although vanish is a little trickier to set up.
Because magic will instantly nullify the effect. I've also seen some techniques where if you're lucky with timing, you can use Palador to avoid it, but that's risky as well.
And here's Kefka himself.
Big Daddy K!
The man, the myth, the legend,
The
who will
god.
hopefully soon be dead.
Yeah, we're slaying a god today, people. Philip Pullman would be proud. That's a really reach for a reference. That's a His Dark Materials joke. I read and stuff.
I haven't read a book in all of my life.
Why are we friends?
Yeah, you tell me. Ooh, more big damage coming out there.
Mm-hmm.
You do want to be careful outside of his Goner phase. If you get Kefka's HP low enough, he will counter with Ultima.
Which is basically an instant party kill.
But here, you see that head come out. That means he is charging Goner. We're going to see a shield pop from Realm. That's going to do some big damage there.
Another shield pop from Strago, which is going to do also big damage and hopefully finish off Kefka before he does Goner. And then Setzer is probably going to guarantee the kill. Nope. Nope.
Not quite.
Dang.
And we see a
I
Goner.
really thought.
Schwantz doing some party renames.
I have no idea what that means. Do
Boo
you?
Just trucking ahead. I believe that's Phoenix Downs.
Ah.
I might be wrong about that.
No, it seems valid. I wonder if he's low. Come on, Setzer, bounce on that. Oh, that last 480 was enough.
Crack pow for Boo's side.
Boo taking the lead.
First place.
And taking first place. That was awesome. Extremely well played.
Very well played by Boo. And speaking of Man of the Hour himself, congratulations on your first place victory.
Hello, thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
So you took a big risk in Kefka's Tower going up the two wings with only one character, but you did it.
Yeah, well, the original plan was to just do the middle path and then warp out, and then split the good people to the other path because I was not confident in my party at all. Couldn't really do much damage, so I was going to try to get some levels and then, only have two bosses to deal with a split party. But then I found a bunch of Valiant Knives, like right before Kefka's Tower. Well, I guess one in Kefka's Tower.
Yep.
Yeah, there were like two, right?
Yeah, just one. Well, I got one from a dragon right before I went in, and then one random chest had a Valiant Knife in it, and it happened to check the equip list, and there was only Cyan and Locke, and those are the two people I happened to put in on the solo path. So I just thought, all right, well, I'll see what the boss is and see if I can solo it, and then I won't have to worry about it, since I knew I had a muscle belt and a Valiant Knife, and not great defense, but maybe serviceable. I was expecting to see a Poltergeist or a Inferno or something nasty and just have to reset and do it all over again, and do the tower all over again. But luckily, it wasn't too bad. I did take one wipe there to an unfortunate tentacle, but it ended up working out.
Yeah,
we
still,
were
you took it
actually
down
talking
real
about
quick.
that.
Yeah.
How like the bosses in the seed seem to be on the whole pretty easy overall.
Yeah, didn't run into too many nasty bosses. In this particular flag set, they're kind of glass cannony. They have 10 extra levels, and if you happen to get the Zen Thief Esper, you get 10 more levels. But the HP only scales by, I think, 2, whereas level scales it to 2.5. So it's a little disproportionate. So they can hurt you a lot, but they die fairly quickly.
How much did it hurt your soul to have the fixed dice be a major part of your offense?
Well, I can't repeat what I said out loud when I was equipping, but yeah, I was hoping to find like an Aura Lance or like anything else, but actually, to give them a little bit of credit, they were kicking some ass at the start of the seed. It kind of trailed off, and my usual luck was back towards the middle and in there. I did get a couple lucky rolls, but I got to give them their due. They got me through some early fights.
And doing some really high damage rolls against the statues, too.
Yeah, dude, actually, so I think I was still level 3. I think it was the first boss I fought. I'm going to turn off my sound here. I think it was the first boss I fought, and I must have, you can't see the rolls when you're jumping, but I must have hit triple 6s, because I did quad 9s at level 3 or 5 or 8 or whatever it was, which is like super hard to do, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah, also, with the Dragon Horn, you get to cut off the animation of the fixed dice, which is a big help.
Yeah, well, that's the only way I'll use them. So yeah, that is a big help.
Where did you find the fixed dice? Excuse me.
They're in Albrook.
They were in Albrook? Okay.
Oh, that
Yeah.
explains why the others weren't able to find them.
So yeah, I had a Celeste start, and typically I'll start in Narsh and grab the quick treasure there, check some shops, and then go to the returners hideout and whatnot. But since I had Celeste, I figured I'd just go in a straight line for easy looting up to South Figaro. So I happened to stop in at Albrook and grab the treasure there, and I guess it ended up working out. I wasn't too thrilled about it, but it made for it. Like again, it did make for some easy fights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the one of the biggest advantages you had over the others, where they did not find the fixed dice. It definitely helped a lot.
Well, that's unfortunate for everyone involved, but
Yeah.
I guess I'm glad I won.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I was not too also thrilled about only having my final checks were Opera House, Burning House, and Kefka at Narsh. So that kind of felt a little bad, but I wasn't about to do Opera House or Burning House unless I absolutely had to at that point. So luckily,
Good thing you didn't do Burning House because it was dead.
Oh,
It
well, that is
completely
I think
dead.
it was a Pearl Lance.
Yeah.
yeah. I never do Burning House unless it's literally the last check available. Unless maybe it's a toss up between it and Floating Continent, and I only need one thing left. Then of course I'll do it. But yeah, I just really don't hate that. Or excuse me, I really don't like that check.
I really think that dead check Burning House should be illegal. Personally,
Probably, yeah. That feels like double bad because it's a really long check. There's a lot of fights. You technically can skip them, so it gives you that little glimmer of hope. But like nobody can. You're just getting lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not consistent at all.
Yeah,
Nope.
and so if you get all the way to the end and either fight a boss you can't kill, and then whoopsie, you're sorry, you just lost all that time, or it's dead. Like no, thank you. So yeah, I'm on board the let's make it a guaranteed progression train.
I agree.
Absolutely. And GG's to Falcon Hit with the Crack Pow at about 129.33.
Woo!
Nice.
Let's get Falcon in here.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Boo, anything else before we let you go?
Nope. I guess the next race will be the finals of the Battle Royale. And since I actually adminned the Battle Royale, I never actually had to run these flags. So I apologize to myself in advance.
Great run, and also really impressive getting into Kefka's Tower under an hour, by 10 minutes. That was very impressive.
Cool. Well, thank you. I actually wasn't even watching the clock, so that's pretty neat. All right, y'all. Well, appreciate it. Thanks for doing the restreams and whatnot, and catch you guys later.
Absolutely.
Bye, Boo.
Take care. Thanks for the run. And we're joined by Falcon Hit now. Falcon Hit, how's it going?
Heyo. That burning house really sunk me, huh?
Yeah,
A little bit,
that's-
yeah.
That was awful. And like I was just saying, should be illegal.
Ah, it happens. You know, if your choices are like Opera House, Kefka Nourish, Burning House, and then you've just done Hiding Cave, I'd say it's excusable.
Yeah.
Were you considering at all the check after getting that 10th Esper after Ebbets Rock?
Which check, sorry?
So you got your 10th Esper at Ebbets Rock. At that point, were you thinking about maybe going for the skip?
It would have been a little bit tough because I was very short on quicker checks, right? Because I can't do weapon shop because there's no free progression.
Right.
So I would have had to do a realm check. And I know one of realm checks is probably going to be a character unless Lock is locking 2 characters. So then I would be like in an awkward situation where I'm at like 8 characters, maybe 11 Espers, and then I'd have to buy like Zen Thief or something.
Yeah.
And it could be like at Hauser's, which is like a 5-minute check. And at that point, you might as well just do Kefka's Tower the normal way, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So
That was a tough seed. Did I miss something, or is Boo did I just challenge the master in his own dojo, the jump seed?
Boo So one of the big things that helped Boo is that he went to Albrook and got the fixed dice and put it on Setzer with a dragon horn. So that really sped things up.
Makes sense. A World of Bounce?
I do believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I was like, I must be missing something here, right? Because I think I routed this pretty well, but my offense was just like subpar. There's no like ammo weapon, no VK, no
There
level
was
3
an ammo
spells.
weapon.
There was?
Yeah, where
don't think
was
I found
that?
it.
World of Ruin Narsh. It was Locke's check. It was between that and
Oh, at the
something
weapon
else.
shop.
Yeah,
Marvel shoes. It was the ammo
Marvel
weapon and Marvel
shoes. Yep.
shoes.
Yeah. I was in go mode, so I was just like, I'm not gonna get like stuff. Although I did end up looking for stuff because I had no tents and no sleeping bags for like the entire seed. You saw me like do the
Yeah.
the free battle in what's that place called? The Imperial Capital.
Oh yeah, Vector. Yeah, I did see
Vector.
that.
I did that because I needed the heal really badly.
Quick question. I also missed. Did you find the 2 Valiant knives?
I did not. There were 2 Valiant knives where they in World of Balance figure and I just missed
One
them.
was in Kefka's tower. Where was the other one?
Was there one?
The other one was the Dragon Reward. I think that was from.
Yeah. The Opera House Dragon.
Yep.
Was it the right chest? Because normally there are 4 chests that I get, and it was none of like the obvious ones. Then
It was
one of the ones that were a little bit out of the way.
a little bit. Yeah. Well, kind of. It was down the third path.
Was it
it was
one
the very first chest that you could get.
The one you like
Wait,
walk down
yeah,
the conveyor belt and you go to the right, or the one where you go left
No,
into the door?
You go. Do you go at the door? No. I think there's just one like hanging out right there at the start, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I usually never get it, so it is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Things happen. You miss stuff.
Every chest you don't check.
Who was
is an
saying in
aluminum.
chat that it was
Exactly.
down and to the left of the third path?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I always skip that one, but I actually got the one in the second path above the switch, and you normally don't get that one, and I'm just like, I'll just get this one. I need like offense because I was suffering. It was Strugglesville
It was
without
a
level
rough
3 spells,
speed.
without ammo weapon, without VK, without even a sniper. I would have loved a sniper. I was like horn jumping with a wing edge for literally the entire seat. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was tough to find some offense. Boo wound up using Realm because she had lore and she just happened to have Grand Train.
Ground Train would have been nice. Although I never found earrings, so it would have been like 1 earring plus. I had a crystal orb on Celeste. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think the only one who ran into earrings was Schwantz, and I don't think they bought any. There
Yeah,
were earrings in Nikia.
World of Ruin Ikea, I think, was earrings there.
I'm actually very curious to ask Schwantz why. Just because when I see earrings, I don't run seeds nearly at this level, but when I see earrings, I'm like, gimme. Gimme now, please. Thank you.
On the seed, there are so many like small to mid tactical decisions that I didn't do. Like I had a +2 strength expert that I didn't put on Strago, so at the end he was only dealing like 5,000 damage with a shuriken when he could have been dealing like 7,000 damage. What else? I think there was like I could have like checked more shops, right? Because there was an aura lance, but like nobody could equip it, so I was just like, it's okay.
Yeah. Boo pointing out in chat that there were tiered shops in this flag set, so.
Yeah, I know it's tier shops. So it's like also the funniest thing about tier shops is like you never find potions. So you saw me buy like 51
Yeah, I
tonics.
saw a bunch of tonics at the start. I'm like,
there's a lot of
okay.
tonics.
Because when I was practicing, I was like, man, I never get potions. Well, I might as well buy these tonics, right?
Yeah. That was when I ran my seed earlier this week. That was basically my struggle. I wound up searching for probably longer than I should to try and find potions, but did eventually find them. But it took me a while.
Yeah, it's a struggle with tier chops. No earrings. A lot of Atlas arms for some reason. I think I found
There
like,
were quite a few Atlas armlets.
and I think
Did
there
you
was a
pick up the hero
dragon.
ring?
I did not. Was there World of Balance?
There was at least
No.
one. I don't remember where it was.
I think it was in the dream. I thought it was in the dream, like in the chest right next to the room where you go to sleep
On the left side?
on the left side. Yeah.
Oh, No, that wasn't.
Or that was an earring.
That was an earring. Yeah, I put that immediately onto Celeste.
Yeah. There was one somewhere. I can't recall where at the moment.
Nor can I. I know it was pretty early on, though.
Yeah.
It must have been like World of Bound South Big Row, because I did not... Wait, no. World of Ruin South Big Row, because I did not do World of Ruin South Big Row. I did literally every other chest, though, so... Well, I didn't do Albrook.
You didn't do Albrook.
Was the fixed dice in a barrel, or was it in a shop?
It was in a chest.
Barrel.
Okay.
Chest thing, yeah.
But you did a good job regardless.
Yeah, with my offense, I think the Kefka was fine. It was kind of slow, but you know how it goes sometimes.
Yep.
Sometimes the seeds are not wanting to work with you, unfortunately.
I'm actually I'm actually really happy this was like a sub 130 with the offense I had. It's a pretty good seed. Also, I did Burning House for a lance. Ha ha ha.
You still played really well.
Yeah. Also, that gave me like infinite levels because anemones are like super good. Although I wish I had another earring so I could one-shot them with Fire 2. Or found fire scrolls. I never found any like fire skeins or like edges.
There were skeins and edges.
I think they were in Narsh, but I like went back for the Atlas times and I forgot to check the item shop.
There were some in Narsh, there were some in Colligan. There were some in Ikea.
There were some in Ikea, yep.
Yeah, because I was like, I should have gotten those the fire skeins, but I was like, there are probably some in Thamasa, and I went to Thamasa and they weren't there, and I was just like,
yep,
suffering.
Yeah, it stinks for sure, but
and this is what I mean by like small tactical decisions that cost me time because I had to like fire to each one individually.
Yeah, it's really rough when you can't find the things that you need.
Or just forget that they exist.
Yeah, I have a problem with the forgetting myself, but
honestly, same. I can never remember. I saw this somewhere, but where that somewhere was, I have no idea.
At any rate, we don't want to keep you too long. You have anything to say before we let you go?
Thank you for putting on this free stream. Free streamers, commentators, congratulations to Boo. I hope you win so that so that I can say I got beaten by the champ.
That is true. There is one runner from this pod who wasn't able to make it tonight. Mm-hmm. He will run his seed asynchronously. But Boo submitted a great time, so anything can happen.
See. Well, GG, Falcon hit.
GG.
GG, and take care. Have a good night.
All right, so Schwantz facing off against Tier 3. With Chad, TS27-1, and Where Phoenix Downs. Up. And now final Kefka.
Yeah, unfortunate. Looks like it took a couple of meteor deaths there.
Yeah. Not an ideal end to Tier 3.
We'll see how he looks on Final Kefka. He may struggle a little bit.
Hmm. Well, let's see how this goes.
I'm not sure if he found either of the Valiant Knives. I don't believe that he did.
I'm not sure either. I believe that Schwantz teleported out instead of taking on the 2 wings with 1 character.
Yeah, I think he dove the dragon and then, yeah, exactly, teleported out and then reformed his party.
Yeah. Getting a Pearl proc on that last one with the Aura, with Pearl Lance, rather. fallen one? Well, we'll find out if there was a VK real quick. Doesn't look like it. Oh, maybe?
Seemed to be.
Yep, that was a VK. I don't know which one Schwantz found, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure if he wound up taking the Opera House Dragon.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure either. Actually, I do think that Schwantz did. I think that the second dragon was the Opera House Dragon. I think that's where the VK came from. I could be wrong, though. Another Pearl proc.
Getting
Very
really
helpful.
lucky with these procs. You love to see it.
Mhm. Proc City. Honor. Not cracking shields, though. I'm surprised by that.
The
Ooh!
yeah, that name makes a lot more sense now that there's only one Phoenix down in his inventory.
Yeah. Ouch.
Opting to jump with Cyan there, that's a little bit risky. He's taking a good deal of damage.
Mm-hmm. Ouch. Sub Cyan does enough damage. Yep,
There's the crack pal for
there's
Schwantz.
that crack.
We are
Hey,
joined by
Schwantz.
him now. The
GG.
Schwantz27. How's it going?
Wow, that was a lesson in how to not play. I'm, the bottom fell out as soon as I got the fourth character. Darn you, Strago.
Were you happy about seeing a throwing Strago?
Yeah, I was really happy. It was so weird. Like, my strategy for the seed was to get a lot of levels early, because the boss levels towards the end, they hit really hard, and so that's why I went Opera House first, all the way through Magitech second, because I was just like, let's beef up my levels really early on. And then eventually, basically last location Strago at Daryl's tomb.
Yep.
Only to go through all of his stuff, and it was down to Burning House and Kefka at Narsh, and Kefka at Narsh 2, Schwantz won this particular seed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was bad.
I'm very curious. So you spent a lot of time shopping in areas that a lot of folks don't normally go to. What were you looking for in particular? Because I saw you find the earrings in Nikia and you didn't buy them. I'm just very curious.
I was just looking. I know that Boo and Falcon Hit are better runners than I am, so I wanted to get something that they weren't going to find. Earrings, I don't think would have helped me out at the moment I saw them. Right, so I think I had most of the stuff that I needed early on, and I was looking for Phoenix Downs, and I couldn't. I went to I think almost every single town in the game. I went to Collingen in both worlds, South Figaro in both worlds, Tizen in both worlds, Albrook, Thamasa, Nikea in both worlds, and where were the Phoenix Downs? Where were they?
Be in Miranda. Just watch them have been in Miranda.
Well, believe it or not, I actually went to Miranda hoping to find something, but
I did not notice you go to Miranda.
Me
Wow.
neither.
I would have
Yeah.
commented on that.
yeah, there are no item shops in Miranda, but I was just hoping for something, anything, because it was on the way to Opera House. But yeah, Kefka at Narsh, man. It was very strange. Like, I was cruising through the seed until I got Strago, went to Ebbets Rock, and then number 24 took me a while, and I'm like, this is weird. Bosses shouldn't take this long, especially now that I have 4 characters. And of course, when I went to Kefka at Narsh, I got railroaded by Chatternook, who slept my whole party one time, and then the second time, I ate bolt 3s to the face. I looked through my list of magic spells, and I saw that one of the Espers had Reflect on it. So I'm like, all right, cool. I have to learn this to put it on Strago, or else he's just going to die from everything. So that was sort of how I beat my head against the wall there. But that was where all my time went, pretty much, was Kefka and Arsh. And then after that, I was I knew I was not going to win, so I just messed around a little bit, I guess. But that was crazy. So pretty linear seed, especially when I had 3-7. I'm like, oh, I'm getting skipped for sure, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, were you disappointed at the lack of character at the end of Magitech 3? Because you were the first person to go in there, and I think that had you found anybody, you would have pulled like way ahead.
Yeah, that was again part of the strategy. When you're racing runners that you believe are better, execution and skill wise than you, doing something that they might not do very early in the game. But I had planned that as soon as I saw Celeste. I was going to do all of her stuff to get my levels up really high, but I guess it still wasn't high enough in the end, right? So it is what it is.
I mean, everyone has bad luck in seeds at some point,
Yeah, I'll be interested to watch this back and see what Boo and Falcon Hit did.
Honestly, the big difference was for Boo. Boo found the fixed dice in World of Balance Albrook.
Okay.
And 2 Valiant Knives.
Ooh.
I believe.
Yeah, I found
and the
one
ammo weapon.
I found one in Kefka's Tower, and I was less than thrilled about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I made some bad party decisions. I should have swapped out Setzer instead of Celeste. I didn't realize my final party had no cure magic except for Mantra, and I only had 1 elixir, so that was bad too. But Life 2 is the best healing spell in the game, right? So
Life 2 followed closely by Life 3.
Yeah, there you go. So Life 2 was my healing for everything. So it was kind of rough not having all of the tools that you need. And then so that's basically what happened on today's race. So, but anyways, thank you guys for hosting and doing commentary, and Lumaga for tracking, and thank you SpeedGaming for hosting us at our weekly spot, ff6wc.com. Quick plug, and that's it for me. Unless you guys have any more questions.
None for me, but thank you so much for racing. It was super entertaining, and you did great. So much obliged.
It was really great to watch. I learned a lot from watching y'all.
Entertaining is a word I would describe. But yeah. Anyway.
Well, take care, Schwantz, and have a good evening.
All right. Thanks again for volunteering, everybody. Catch you later.
Bye.
Okay, and that is going to do it for us here today. I'd like to repeat Schwantz's thanks for SpeedGaming. Thank you so much for hosting us. It's always a pleasure. Thank you to Persephoroth, my co-commentator. Always lovely to have her. Thanks Lumaga for tracking. Thanks all of our racers for putting on a good show. Sephi, what do you got?
Thank you, Gar, for being my co-commentator. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Phenomenal. Everybody, have a good night. Take care. And we'll see you all next time.
Don't let the Moogles bite. They're ankle biters.